Happy New Year, everybody. It's the 1st of January 2022 and this is my last Twixtmas video. Apologies, it's a little bit echoey in this room, but hopefully the sound's okay for you. And I thought I'd have one final fling in front of the Christmas decorations in here before they all go away, which will be either later on today or first thing tomorrow. But I hope you all had a lovely New Year's Eve. We don't really celebrate in a big way. We just had a little glass of something sparkly at midnight to see the new year in, and watched a little bit of the celebrations on the TV before heading off to bed. But that's the way we like it, nice and simple and quiet. But however you celebrated it, I hope you had a really lovely time. I have been inspired yet again by Laurie Holt to get on with some planning. I just popped literally a few seconds of film at the beginning of the episode. I was watching Laurie's latest video this morning on her channel where she was showing how she fills in her planner. Very luxurious, sitting in bed with a cup of coffee watching Laurie Holt, which was a really nice start to the new year. So I got a few things done in my planner. If you saw my video yesterday, you'll know that I made this planner cover, which I'm really pleased with. And I thought, right, I'm going to get cracking with some plans in here. As I said, this is going to be for all my stitchy and crafty plans and notes throughout the year. So I thought it was a good opportunity to tell you about some of those plans. And also, it's a little bit out with the old and in with the new, which is a traditional kind of way to look at New Year, isn't it? To focus on the things that you want to be doing and reevaluate some of the things that you have been doing. So first of all, for some plans, I've already started jotting in my planner this morning, just a few little bits. This is the sort of month spread for January, and there are a couple of things that I already know are going to be happening. I'm going to try and make notes of when I'm doing videos, floss tubes, things like that. And I've made a note of some of the projects that I want to be working on for January. So so far I've written down, I'm going to tell you what I've got written down as projects to be working on, which is Prim Stitch Series by Laurie Holt, Anniversaries of the Heart by Blackbird Designs, the 25th Day Sal, which was a stitch along started by Laurie Holt, whereby you start a project on Christmas Day, which I did, and work on it on the 25th day every month throughout the year. I've also got a couple of stitch-alongs coming up. One is the How Does Your Garden Grow stitch-along with Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which starts in January. In February, I will be starting the Heartfelt Make-A-Wish charity stitch-along with Fat Quarter Shop, which I'm very excited about. And there are a couple of other things that I'm going to put into my rotation. So that's still a work in progress to get that finalised of how I want to stitch through the year, what I want to achieve. Obviously, I know there will be new starts. There are always so many lovely things coming out that I want to join in with. But yeah, I thought it was a good start to make a note of them in my book, get some things down. One of my cute little tuxedo cat post-it notes that I got in my advent from Paula, and I've just been putting some washi tape and things like that. I don't have many stickers, and I'm trying to resist the urge to start buying lots of stickers and planner supplies and things like that. I think I'm going to try and make do. I bought some pretty highlighter pens to use, and just use up the washi tape and the little post-it notes that I've got. But that's not a guarantee that stickers won't appear at some point. So that's my my planner. I did pop this on my Instagram yesterday, and as I mentioned, it was Gina Tell of Thread Graffiti. It was her gift to Kimberly that inspired me to make this, and then obviously I used Liz's tutorial, Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and that's, if you didn't see yesterday's Twixtmas, all the information is in that video and in the description box for that video. But Gina left a comment on my Instagram post and said that she is planning to do a tutorial as well on Fat Quarter Shop, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested, because I think I might be needing another one of these, and it'd be interesting to see Gina's method of making these planner or notebook covers. But enough about that. I mentioned out with the old and in with the new, and I spent some time going through my WIPs. Now, I've seen lots of wonderful WIP parades on FlossTube in the last couple of weeks, and I love watching a WIP parade. I think we all do. But I didn't think it was really a good time for me to be doing another WIP parade. My last one was in the summer, and I think probably quite a lot of repetition if I was to do that again. So instead, I took the time to just have a little revisit of those WIPs and just see what's still speaking to me and what really isn't speaking to me anymore. This is our hobby, isn't it? It's our time for doing what we love. As Brenda says, stitch what you love, and therefore you'll love what you stitch, won't you? So anything that isn't really talking to you, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong in just kicking it to the curb and moving on with the things that you do love stitching on. So there are a couple of WIPs that I have culled here that I'm going to show you. Nothing wrong with the project at all. It's a combination of not really feeling it anymore, tastes have changed, style has changed, some of the fabric choices weren't great, and well, let me go through them and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so the first are a couple of Christmas projects. This first one here, I'll just take it out of the wallet so you can see. Sorry for the crunkling. This was the North Pole Milk and Cookie Company from Spooky and Steve. I downloaded this from Etsy. I still really love this design and I will revisit it at some point, but I just wasn't feeling it on the fabric that I chose. So I'll show you, it really isn't a lot of progress. I got sort of that far and it was in the car as my lunchtime stitching for work, and there were quite a few days I didn't even bother to pick it up, so that was enough to tell me that this project really wasn't speaking to me in the way it should have done. So I think this one is going to go. I'm going to I'll chop this piece off. There's enough of this. I think it is a 28 count even weave. I'm not a great fan of stitching on plain white either. I think that may have had something to do with it. So I'll save this. It might come in handy for something else at a later date. I might put a tea or coffee stain on it and use it for something else. But this section is going to go. Flossies have gone back into stash, and I'll keep the pattern and perhaps revisit it another time on a different fabric. So that is the first project that has not made the cut for 2022. The next one, and I know lots of you are going to berate me for this choice. The next one is from Little Dove Designs, and it's Christmas Wishes. And I'm probably about halfway done on this project, but again, I kept feeling that I should be stitching on it and then thinking, I'll perhaps do that one tomorrow, and putting it off and realising that it's because I wasn't enjoying it. Again, I love the design, although my taste has changed a little since I started it. The main thing that I'm not enjoying about this is the fabric. It's a 28 count Monaco fabric, and it's not really my favourite fabric to stitch on anymore. So this one is sadly not going to make it. I know, flossies have gone back into stash, and it's just one of those things, isn't it? As I said, I'm really not going to force myself to stitch on something that I'm not loving. You know, and time is precious. I want to use that time to really enjoy what I'm working on. I've got 3 more projects here as well. These are not Christmas ones. The next one, this again is a fabric problem. This here, and you can see how gauzy this is. This is a I think it's a 28 count sachet fabric that I bought on Etsy, and it really isn't, in my opinion, it really isn't great fabric at all. It's a very, very loose weave, and I found it really not enjoyable to stitch on. The pattern is upside down. It's a heartstring samplery, all the pretty flowers that I was stitching last year as part of the Pocket Full of Posies stitch along. A really pretty design, which again I might stitch at some point in the future, but it really isn't working for me. So that one is not making the cut. And of course, when you do this, the bonus is that you free up some flosses. So there's some really nice Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colour Works and Gentle Arts threads in this one, which I will put back into my floss stash. So that was a no-no. The next one is another heartstring samplery that I was doing for Pocket Full of Posies, and this one is Forget Me Not. Again, a really pretty design. Gorgeous flosses. These are all Weeks Dye Works. And again, I think it was a bad fabric choice. The fabric that I have here is I think it might be a 36 count, but it's quite heavily dyed in some places, and I just don't think it was right for this piece. I think it will be fabulous. Again, I've got probably enough here for some sort of small, it needs something a bit like a Halloween piece, I guess, because it's a very moody sort of fabric. And I felt with this fabric and the Forget Me Not sentiment, I found it a little bit depressing, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm not going to be stitching on this one anymore either. So I'm not really sad though, because I think it's just nice to, it's quite cathartic, isn't it, to declutter. It sort of declutters your mind as well, and just get, and I encourage you to do the same. If something's not working for you, just with my permission, yeah, just call it a day. There's one final project that I really didn't make very much progress at all. I am an absolute sucker for a stitch along, and I start with all good intentions and yeah, don't continue. So this is my final project that I have decided to cull. This one is a bit crumpled, apologies for that. This is Berry Sweet. I think it is by Cherry Hill Stitchery. I started this as part of the Strawberry Social last year, which was run by Heather and Jeanette of Crafty Cottage Stitching podcast, Floss Tube, sorry. And yeah, I love the design. Made a start, a very feeble start. I started on the centre of the word sweet. Yeah, and that was as far as I got. So again, this one really isn't doing it for me. I think the fabric didn't help. This is a 32 count natural linen from Zweigart. It's not my favourite. I think this is the raw linen. So yes, that is another one that has been culled. But of course I have some, these are all DMC flosses that I was using here, so they'll go back into stash. I have found more skeins of DMC 310 than I ever thought possible when I've been going through my WIPs. It seems I just always think, oh, I must buy some more 310, and I have got an absolute pile of it now. Same for the whites and 3865s and all those sort of neutral colours as well. So there's quite a few flosses to go back into stash, some fabric that can be salvaged. But what I thought would be a nice idea is the Little Dove designs, the Christmas wishes. I thought that one of you might be interested in finishing it off. It uses DMC thread. I won't be including the thread, but if somebody was interested in completing this project and giving it a home, and will love it more than I do, then I'd like to give this one away. I'll just show it to you again. I'll keep the fabric intact, so you've got plenty of space for finishing or for whatever you need. So this much is already stitched. There are some little bits that I was going to go back to, and the rest of the chart, as I said, it's a 28 count Monaco fabric. So if you like stitching on 28 count Monaco and you would like to finish this off and you don't mind picking up my stitching, you will be more than welcome. I'll just show you the back. I have carried the threads a little on the back, so hopefully it's neat enough on the back that it's not going to shock somebody when they receive it. So if you would be interested in adopting this WIP, then please leave a comment down below underneath this video and use the word adopt, ADOPT. So yeah, and I will choose a winner, not on my next regular floss tube because that will be tomorrow, but on the floss tube after that I'll choose a winner and get this sent to you. Wherever you are in the world, it's absolutely fine. So hopefully we'll find a new home for that project. The rest will be, fabric will be recycled, the charts will go back into stash for now, just in case I decide to stitch them another time. So all that leaves me to say is thank you for joining me on this little Twixtmas journey. I've had such fun sharing my baking, my little cross stitch finishing, sewing my planner cover, and just having a chat with you all about my stitching. You're all so lovely and generous with your comments. I am going to spend the rest of the afternoon now catching up with Olivia of Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I see she's uploaded her floss tube this morning, and working on my Peppermint Pals project, which is really close to a finish. So if I can get that finished today, I'll be very happy, because then I can make a start on my projects tomorrow that I've put in my planner. So again, Happy New Year to you, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.